Massive stones, some weighing more than a small car, moved hundreds of miles across the land. This incredible feat was achieved by people who hadn't even invented the wheel. For thousands of years, Stonehenge has stood on the Salisbury Plain, a silent testament to a forgotten age. Its purpose has been one of history's most enduring puzzles. Was this magnificent circle a giant celestial calendar, marking the solstices with uncanny precision? Was it a sacred burial ground, a final resting place for kings and queens? Or could it have been a place of healing, a prehistoric hospital where people journeyed for miraculous cures? We are about to journey back in time over 5,000 years to meet the people who built this iconic monument. We will examine the latest archaeological evidence, piecing together the clues they left behind to uncover the true purpose of Stonehenge. The story of Stonehenge is not a single story. It's a tale told in stages spanning over 1,500 years. It began around 3000 BCE, not with giant stones, but with a massive circular earthwork, a ditch and bank known as a henge. Early farmers, living in small communities, used simple tools like picks made from deer antlers to dig this enormous circle. Inside the bank, they erected a ring of 56 pits, now known as the Aubrey Holes. For a long time, the purpose of these pits was a mystery. Recent excavations, however, have revealed that these holes were not for posts, but for burials. They contained cremated human remains, making Stonehenge in its earliest phase one of the largest Neolithic cemeteries in Britain. These weren't just any burials. The analysis of the remains suggests they were of men, women, and children, possibly from a single elite family or a line of rulers. This tells us that from its very beginning, Stonehenge was a place of deep significance, a place connected to the ancestors and the afterlife. Around 500 years later, around 2500 BCE, the first stones arrived. And this is where the mystery deepens. The smaller stones, known as Built Stones, are not local to Salisbury Plain. Geological analysis has traced their origin with incredible accuracy to the Preseli Hills in Wales. A staggering 180 miles away, how did a Neolithic society, without wheels or modern technology, transport these multi-ton stones over such a vast distance? The journey would have been a monumental undertaking, involving navigating dense forests, crossing rivers, and traversing rugged terrain. It would have required the cooperation of hundreds, perhaps thousands, of people. One theory suggests the stones were moved using a combination of human effort on wooden sledges and log rollers on land, possibly floated on rafts along waterways like the Bristol Channel and the River Avon. Imagine the sheer determination and social organization required to coordinate such a project. This immense effort tells us something profound about the blue stones. They weren't just convenient building materials. They were special. The people who brought them must have believed these stones possessed unique properties, perhaps healing or magical powers, originating from their ancestral homeland in the mountains. The arrival of the blue stones marks a significant shift in Stonehenge's purpose. They were carefully arranged into a double arc in the center of the henge, suggesting a move towards a more ceremonial or ritualistic function. The monument was evolving. Then came the giants. Shortly after the blue stones were set up, an even more ambitious phase of construction began. This involved the iconic sarsens, the massive sandstone blocks that give Stonehenge its famous silhouette. These colossal stones, some weighing up to 40 tons, were quarried from the Marlborough Downs, about 20 miles north of Stonehenge. While a shorter distance than the blue stones, moving these behemoths was an incredible engineering challenge. Once on site, the sarsens were shaped with painstaking precision using stone mauls. Look closely at them, and you can see sophisticated woodworking techniques, like mortise and tenon joints, used to secure the horizontal lintels on top of the uprights. This was high-level craftsmanship. The builders erected the Great Neolithic Horseshoe and the outer sarsen circle, creating the structure we recognize today. The blue stones were then rearranged within this new, grander design. The entire monument was meticulously aligned with the movements of the sun. On the summer solstice, the longest day of the year, the rising sun shines directly through the monument and aligns with the heel stone, which stands just outside the main circle. On the winter solstice, the shortest day, the setting sun is framed perfectly by the Great Trilithon. This precise astronomical alignment is no accident. It suggests that the builders of Stonehenge were keen observers of the sky. They had a deep understanding of celestial cycles, which were crucial for their agricultural lives. The monument likely served as a calendar, helping them mark the changing seasons, determine when to plant crops, and when to harvest. It was a clockwork of stone, connecting the earth to the heavens and bringing order to their world. So, who were these brilliant architects and engineers? For centuries, folklore attributed Stonehenge to wizards like Merlin or giants. Later theories pointed to the Druids, the Celtic priests of ancient Britain. However, archaeology tells us a different story. The Druids were a feature of the Iron Age, and Stonehenge was already thousands of years old by the time they appeared. The builders were Neolithic and Bronze Age people, farmers who had only recently settled down from a nomadic hunter-gatherer lifestyle. Excavations at Durrington Walls, a large Neolithic settlement just 2 miles from Stonehenge, have given us an unprecedented glimpse into the lives of the builders. Archaeologists found the remains of hundreds of houses, suggesting a vast, temporary settlement. The sheer amount of food waste discovered indicates that thousands of people gathered here for massive feasts and festivals. These gatherings likely coincided with the major construction phases and the solstices. It seems that building and celebrating at Stonehenge was a communal act, a project that united different tribes from across Britain. It was the ancient equivalent of a great national project, pilgrimage site that brought people together for work, for ritual, and for celebration. This brings us to the final compelling theory about Stonehenge's purpose, a place of healing. Numerous skeletons excavated from around the monument show signs of severe illness or injury. Chemical analysis of their teeth reveals that many of these individuals were not local to the Salisbury Plain. They had traveled long distances, some from as far away as Ireland, Scotland, or even mainland Europe. Why would sick and injured people make such arduous journeys to Stonehenge? The answer may lie in the blue stones. In many ancient cultures, stones from specific sacred locations were believed to possess healing properties. Perhaps the Preseli Hills were seen as a place of magic. The blue stones were brought to Stonehenge to create a powerful center for healing. People would make a pilgrimage to the monument in the hope of being cured by the stone's divine power. So what was the true purpose of Stonehenge? The evidence suggests it wasn't just one thing. It was a multifaceted, evolving monument whose meaning changed over the centuries. It began as a sacred cemetery, a place to honor the ancestors. It then became a celestial observatory and a calendar, a tool for understanding the cosmos and organizing life on Earth. It was also a center of social life, a place for massive communal gatherings and feasts that united people from far and wide. And finally, it was a destination for pilgrims, the lords of its time, where people sought healing and miracles. Stonehenge was a place of the dead, a map of the heavens, and a source of life and healing. It connected the past with the present, the earth with the sky, and the living with the divine. The people who built it left no written records, but they left us something far more powerful. They left a monument that has inspired awe and wonder for millennia, a testament to their ingenuity, their beliefs, and their incredible determination. Their legacy is written in stone, a story that continues to unfold with each new archaeological discovery. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the past. If you found this exploration fascinating, be sure to subscribe to Historical Repos for more deep dives into the mysteries of history.